Rakshit Bhai, our President, Executive Committee members, our elders, our members, our family, and our children. આજે હાથ ધ્રુજે છે અહીંયા normally ના થાય. ગઈકાલે Khilit and I, we were here. EMM હતું ગઈકાલે, we were here from EMM. I don't think either one of us wanted to leave this place. And, there's a degree of attachment. આજે 2012 થી લઈને આપણે આ ઘર બનાવ્યું છે. જ્યારે ઘરેથી કાઢી મૂકે ત્યારે અહીંયા આવીને બેસી જાય તો બધું મળે છે અહીંયા. This is a home. So it was such an apprehension ગઈકાલે to leave કે we were finding excuses to stay here. Office માં બેઠા હતા, we were just looking at excuses. He was trying to give me photographs for that video we prepared. અને તમે વિચાર કરશો આજે 6 વર્ષમાં આપણી પાસે 2 લાખ ફોટા છે. કેટલા આજે 2 લાખ ફોટા કોઈને સ્કેન કરવા હોય ને ક્યારે કે જોવું હોય કે કેટલી વાર લાગશે, તમે વિચાર કરો તમારો આખો દિવસ નીકળી જશે ખાલી એક ફોલ્ડર ચેક કરતા. You can imagine how much these last 6 years mean to us in every aspect. The other thing, Ekta Center લીધું તો આપણી ઓફિસની બહાર બાલ્કની છે. હું ને ચેતન ત્યાં ઊભા હતા. This is the day we took possession. We were just, I was worried, he was worried too, કે આ જગા લીધી છે તો અમે ચલાવશું કે કામે કોણ જવાનું છે. I have to point out one person who was standing behind us, listening to us. Mahendra Bhai, he put his hand on both our shoulders and said, "Don't worry, boys. I'll make it come out." So, true to the word, the Act of volunteers today, you stand at a point. As you know, last November, and my cousin, લગન હતા માનવો હતો સવારના. તો I don't know કેટલા જણ ઓળખતા હશે. મુકેશભાઈ અહીંયા આવ્યા હતા. He was the chairman of OERB. I met him, so I was talking to him ત્યાં Oshwal Center, Nairobi, Ghana. The word that came out of his mouth was, Oshwal Ekta Center epitomizes what volunteers can offer to the community. And then, true to the word, today, everything that's been done, Chaitanya Vatkeri, paint no Damoya, looking at with the view, will come and paint in the evening, it was all done. And that's true. Yeah, Ganifere, you see a little scratch, table no mark, you come a couple of days later and it's missing because it's been fixed. And it's because of what you've done. And this is inspiring. I'll tell you what, how old do all of you think I am today? How old do you think I am today? Come on. Really?
21.
Thank you, by the way. Okay. Really? I'm 6 years old today. In my Oshwal age, like Chetan, like Dipen, like so many of us over here, 2010 में आया committee में, त्यारे I had no experience. I had zero experience of community. The only experience I have is Rumit Bhai calling me in 2005 to say ke Pratishta che, tari madad we need help. Wow. Lekin શું કરવાનું? કે crowd control. લેકિન આવી જાય, કાઈ વાંધો નહીં. I learned Oshwal from Rumit. He was the one who introduced me to Oshwal. Oshwal is a drug. It is very difficult to let go. Yeah? How many of you agree with that? Yeah, agree. There you go. It gives you that feeling, a sense of belonging. આજે આ દેશમાં 650,000 Gujaratis. You are one of 650,000. But you know what? When you speak over there, your voice is lost. Because there are 650,000 other people talking. But in this community, when you speak, you have 26,000 people listening to you. And change is possible when people listen to you. As a change, not only slide, join us a video, join, but change. Yeah? Can you imagine, okay, 6 years, and all we've spoken about is change. Today, we are again talking about change. Change is important. Change drives progress. We should never ever be afraid of change. આજે change થી કોઈ ડરશે તો ત્યાં ને ત્યાં રહેશો, એક ડગલો તમે આગળ નહીં બની શકો ત્યાંથી. એટલે change is important. So going back to my age, હું 6 વર્ષનો થયો આજે. 6 વર્ષમાં આ કમ્યુનિટીએ મને ક્રોલ કરતા શીખવાડ્યું. અહીંયા જે બધા બેઠા છે એ લોકોએ executive committee members, I worked under Tushar Bhai, under Rex Bhai, both of them have taught me how to crawl and how to walk. And now how to run. Today, Northwest area is very different. 2010 માં આવ્યા હતા ત્યારે ના તો પ્રોપર્ટી હતી, એક લિસ્ટ હતું મારી પાસે 70 volunteers નું. 70 volunteers નું લિસ્ટ હતું મારી આગળ કે ક્યારે કોઈ કામ હોય તો આ 70 માંથી ફોન કરજો, એ આવી જશે બધા. હમણાં જ્યારે વોલન્ટિયર્સ એપ્રિશિએશન ડિનર કર્યું ત્યારે રજિસ્ટર્ડ વોલન્ટિયર્સ કેટલા હતા? 490. બધા સ્લાઇડ જોઈને Can you imagine the change? Yeah? In 2010, with running schools, with running youth club, we had about 30 to 40 events. So let's say about 50 events, including the regular activities. Today we are here delivering 290 events and regular activities in a year. What? આજે વર્ષ ગણો તો 365 દિવસ છે. 210 દિવસ એટલા દિવસ તો નહીં થાય, પણ આપણે એટલી ઇવેન્ટ્સ કરીએ છીએ. એક ઇવેન્ટ એક દિવસની પ્રેપરેશનમાં જાય છે. એટલે કામ કેટલું છે અને કામ કેટલું વધ્યું. આજે દિવાળીભાઈ સ્લાઇડ દેખાડી, તમે હિસાબ જોઈ લીધો કે આટલું કામ વધ્યું છે. એની પાછળ ઘણી મહેનત છે. આજે એન્યુઅલ રિપોર્ટ જોઈ લ્યો બધા. તમે વિચાર કરો કે આપણે આ જગ્યાએ આટલું પ્રોફિટ કર્યું, રિલિજનમાં આટલું પ્રોફિટ કર્યું, એજ્યુકેશનમાં સરપ્લસ, આપણે સરપ્લસ નહીં પણ આપણે ડેફિસિટ ઓછું કર્યું, આપણે વેલફેર કર્યું, બધું કર્યું. પણ આજે તમને એની આ બાજુ જે એફર્ટ જે છે ને એ તમને સમજાવું. And I want to teach you with one view. So my granddad, my Dadaji, he was very much into stock trading, buying shares, I had some interest. I used to like seeing him, watching him do all of those things. So બે દિવસ એક સવાલ પૂછ્યો. મેં કીધું કે દાદાજી તમે આ કંપનીના શેર્સ લ્યો છો તો what do you do? તમે કેવી રીતના લ્યો છો? કે જો આ એન્યુઅલ રિપોર્ટ છે, એન્યુઅલ રિપોર્ટ જોયો તો આમાં બહુ સારો પ્રોફિટ છે તો આ લેવા જેવા છે ને. કે એનાથી જ કામ ના થાય. કે યુ હેવ ટુ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ કે આજે પ્રોફિટ ભલે બધા કરે છે પણ સામે એ કરે છે શું એ શીખવું પડે. એટલે ઘણી ફેરે આપણે જ્યારે આ એન્યુઅલ રિપોર્ટ આપણો વાંચીએ છીએ so it is more important to come on this side of the wall sometimes and see the effort, the determination and the courage all of these people put in to actually make those things work. There are countless sleepless nights. Mayfield night, Minashbai will probably not sleep the whole night. Mina Ben Minashbai probably won't sleep the whole night because they're worried whether everything will work correctly or not, whether things will move or not. School, ઘણી ફરક થાય છે. ફ્રાઈડે રાતના ફોન આવે કે ટીચરનો કે મને સરખાઈ નથી, કાલે નહીં આવું. મિલનભાઈ, on a Friday night, suddenly family દિવસ છે, ઘણી ફેરે family સાથે કંઈ પ્લાન હોય, everything gets cancelled. They pick up the phone, they start calling to see which teacher is available because they want to make sure that the school runs the way it should be. This is just an example of what it takes to run community. It is hard work, but it is fruitful. કે તમે વિચાર કરો, સ્કૂલે જાશો, આજે I don't know અહીંયાથી કેટલા જણ આપણી સ્કૂલે આવે છે, but when you go there, you suddenly become young. You actually see the youthful essence of the school. You go to the youth club on a Friday evening and you see energy. All of that is what drives us to do the work. You actually feel, you know what you're doing. I don't care if it's made money or not, but you've actually delivered something which is appreciated so much. You know, that in itself will deliver what we set out to. So, you know, I think today, my message to all of you is, we need to understand the true value of our community. Our value is not listed in those accounts. Those are just mere numbers. Our value is how long we can survive. And the only way we can do that is if we are able to harness tomorrow's generation, tell them this is your community, work towards it, and you will extend its life. There are quite a lot of people here today, many new faces, many young faces, many young families who come here. And I think AGMs now need to push for the next generation to come here. કે સમાજ બનાવીએ છે, આજે બધી એક્ટિવિટીઝ થાય છે, પણ સમાજ ચાલુ રાખવી હશે તો you will need new blood. 2010, 7-8 new people came in. Over the years, we've had new people join. Some people have left, but we've had new people join. New people joining drives the energy, and that change is important. However, as I'm talking about the value of this community, I want to tell you why it is important that we understand the value of our community. Ajay, last autumn, I think November, we started a LinkedIn group. આપણે ઓશલ બિઝનેસ એન્ડ પ્રોફેશનલ નેટવર્ક ચાલુ કર્યું હતું 2012માં. તો એમાં ઘણા વોલન્ટિયર્સ હતા અને લોકોએ કીધું કે આપણે એક લિંક્ડઇન ગ્રુપ ચાલુ કરીએ. લિંક્ડઇન એટલે શું? આપણે આમ મળીએ છીએ ને, ઇટ ઇઝ બેઝિકલી that same meeting but virtually. કે આજે કોઈની પાસે ટાઈમ નથી આવી રીતના મળવા આવવા માટે. So we formed a LinkedIn group. Today 240 people have joined that LinkedIn group. That LinkedIn group, if you look at it, ખાલી 240 છે. આપણી we are 26,000, of which there is a significant number who are professionals who own businesses. તમે ખાલી 2,240 જણને તમે એમાંથી લેશો, that 240 contributes significant amounts to this country's economy. You know, to look at value, you have to look at what we are contributing in. And then, look, quite a lot of you, તમે કેન્યાથી આવ્યા છો, ઇન્ડિયાથી આવ્યા છો, you've settled over here. આ તમારું adopted દેશ કહેવાય. આ તમારું દેશ હતું નહીં, આ દેશે તમને જગા આપી છે, તમે અહીંયા સેટલ થયા, તમારી મરજીથી સેટલ થયા છો. Conditions or whatever brought you here, but you come here. But all your children are first generation UK, or majority of them are. We need to engage them. If we don't engage them, you will find, you know what, in a couple of generations, Chetan Bhai has just given you a simple highlight. If We don't go to functions, our kids don't go to functions, slowly it erodes away. You need to make sure that you engage the youth. You have to bring them on board. આજે ઈ વાત ક્યારેય નહીં ચાલે કે એ લોકો પાસે experience નથી, એ લોકો પાસે time નથી, they will not be able to give the time because yes, agree, we are all busy, we can't give time. Half or almost everyone sitting over here doesn't have the time. If you look at their lives, they don't have time because everyone has young kids, they're married, they have professions that actually take them away, so there is no possibility of making time. But all of these people make time because they saw the value of the community. And you have to trust people to take that on. You can't keep saying every time, youth have a youth has experience nothing, youth has nothing, youth has all nothing. Youth, you empower them, they will come on board. Can you imagine today, okay, individually, we have so many investment bankers, we have so many people with successful businesses in this country. But they're all individuals because the community today has not been able to harness their potential. આજે ઈ એક થશે ક્યારેય પણ. Do you know what impact we can have to the GDP of United Kingdom? If you look at what we have in our community, accountants, professionals, bankers, we have doctors, we have pharmacists, dentists, everyone is contributing back to this community, back to this country. Imagine if we all became one and had one voice to carry out. You know, we would change the view of Oshwal in this country. Kenya Majer, Oshwal Muda Magar Chair, we can achieve that here. Because you know the background work is already done, all we have to do is come together. That is why today Oshwal Business and Professional Network is a very key element of our association, and every area should embrace it, and every area should go out and sign up people to go and join. There is no extra fee to join this group. You know, there's 239 people who have joined it. Pre-community by 26,000 jan છે. They should all be able to sign up to this. And then, you know what? In that collective, we will be able to then make our way through actually saying, this is the true value of Oshwals, see us as a collective, we will be able to deliver. And other communities will see us. Today, there are smaller communities who have actually surpassed us by becoming a collective. So there is really benefit in this. We are far bigger than all those smaller communities. If we come together, we will be able to do this. So, one message, again, to all of you is, Oshwal Business and Professional Network is somewhere where we can engage our youth coming back into the community. The other area that I wanted to talk to all of you about was education. Ajay, in 2015, April 2015, we received a letter from the OCR board telling us that by the end of 2016 we will stop redeveloping Gujarati GCSE's curriculum. That would mean that by the end of 2017 there will be no more Gujarati GCSE exams. તમે વિચાર કરશો જે શનિવારનો કે રવિવારનો આપણો ગુજરાતી સ્કૂલનો સ્લોટ છે ત્યારે બીજી કેટલી એક્ટિવિટીઝ થાય છે. I have had parents come and tell me I need to take my child out of the Gujarati school because he has to go horse riding. Yeah? I can see the value in all of those things. I can really see the value. Okay, you know, our language can be forsaken for a lot of other things that kids can excel in. Horse riding is a very good talent to have. Yeah? piano lessons માં જવાનું છે ઘણું આટલા બધા excuses. You know what, if I actually pull the excuses of parents when I speak to them કે છોકરાને ગુજરાતી સ્કૂલમાં મોકલો તો આટલા બધા excuses મળશે. Can I tell you one thing? There are 65 million Gujaratis in the world. If all those 65 million Gujaratis actually started thinking just like that one person, what would happen? Can you imagine what will happen? We've just put in a Gujarati Prime Minister to the largest democracy in the world. Yeah? We have faith in that man delivering, but today we don't have faith in his language. Yeah? It's our mother tongue. મમ્મીનું ખાવાનું બધાને ભાવે છે ને યુનિમાં જાઓ તો બધા પાછા આવો તો મમ્મીનું ખાવાનું ભાવે છે બધાને જાઓ ત્યારે મમ્મીને કહેશો કે પ્લીઝ ખાવાનું બનાવીને આપજો યુનિમાં પ્રોબ્લેમ થશે ખાવાના ને બધું યા ક્યારે લાગી જાય તો પહેલો વર્ડ આવે છે મમ્મી યા એની લેંગ્વેજ ને કેમ આપણે પેલો એટલો ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ નથી આપતા. Can anyone tell me that? Because you know what, I've still been trying to figure out that everywhere you place importance in all the things that you feel they're important, but that language is important. તમે વિચાર કરો કે કાલે તમારે દિવાળી એક્સપ્લેન કરવી પડશે કે હોળી એક્સપ્લેન કરવી પડશે કાંઈ પણ એક્સપ્લેન કરવું પડશે ને એ છોકરાને ગુજરાતી નહીં આવડતું હોય ને એવો એક શબ્દ હશે એમાં જેનો મિનિંગ સાવ બદલાઈ જશે જ્યારે તમે એને ઇંગ્લિશમાં કહેશો તો એની વેલ્યુ શું રહેશે? You know, sometimes we really need to wake up and see why communities do all of these activities. Why do we run these schools? Because we are linked to our culture, we are linked to our heritage. It is very important that today we don't separate our language and our culture. They go hand in hand. One will go, the other will definitely go. And if the other one goes, there won't be much point in having a strong association with the UK. I guarantee you that. Now, with the announcement of the Gujarati GCSE coming through and the OCR board was not going to redevelop it, Oswals alone cannot make this change. We are only supplying 40 to 60 children to Gujarati GCSE from our collective schools. We've had to link up with other communities. Not just our community, but every community that runs a Gujarati school. So we took the lead in forming what is now the Consortium of Gujarati Schools, CGS, in the short form. That group has been advocating with local government, with central government, with the boards, to actually try and make sure that Gujarati GCSE has its chance in this country. Apne kaam karwanu chhe, but pehla we need them to assure us that the language will stay. We have the other part of the equation where we have to build our numbers in our schools. If we can't build our numbers in our schools, then you know what? It's all going to be downhill from there. There is some value today in our language, but it is also the messaging of that needs to go out correctly. A couple of weeks ago, I was at the Kara Patidar Samaj, because as part of CGS, we have to link up with all these schools. We heard news that they are closing their school down, that they are proposing to close their Gujarati school down. So I went there, I spoke to the parents. This was the community that stood with us to say, no, we will preserve our language. Let me tell you today that if a leading community decides, okay, by the way, we are working with all of you to preserve our language, but we want to close our school down, what sort of message are we giving out to the bigger public? You know what happened when people heard that school was closing down? Hello, jawab apne mailo કે તમે અમારી પાસે આવો છો આપણી લેંગ્વેજ ને GCSE ચાલુ રાખવા માટે તો તમે જ તમારી સ્કૂલ બંધ કરો છો તો what motivation do we have of preserving your language? So one commitment that we all have to make is we have to preserve our language. Without that, there is not going to be much essence के आपने अपनी culture अपना छोकरा अपने पास करें सब Oshal Association of the UK today has two areas where we've celebrated 40th anniversaries of our school, and that is a very important milestone. Northwest area was one of them. Last November, we celebrated the 40th anniversary of our school. We had our past teachers, we had a lot of students who all come through our schools. And the one question that they had was, or actually it wasn't a question, it was more a message of hope. We are all standing with you. Whenever you want our support with the Gujarati schools, we will be there to support you. And I think all of you need to make that commitment. If you want to keep our community alive, you have to keep our culture alive, you have to keep our language alive. Without that, it will not work. Pretty much, I'm coming to the end of 6 years of being the chair of this area. And I said I need to pen down my speech somewhere because it will not look nice if I come here and just speak off the cuff and forget what I have to do and what I have to say. But I was sitting there till I think it was about 2:30 when my wife came down and she came down and said, "Abe to sui ja, kale chelo divas hai." Lekin tu ke 2 minute niche आओ, my speech rehearse कर लो तारी सामने. Lekin क्या तू वर्दी दिन पर बोलिस ना? पापा ना यार सुई जावाना है. लेकिन कर तू थोड़ी बार सुई जा. सवाल का तैयारी कर जा. So, like I always listen to my wife, I just ignored what she said and carried on with it. But one thing that came to me was, okay, I need this community. I really need this community. This community is my identity. Ajay, we're going to be 50 years. As Oshal Association of the UK, I think in 2 years we'll be 50, right? If you look at where we came from, Ajay Oshal experience, videos gani choso, abe gana loko ne interview kaya tha when we did the Oshal experience. You look at life, you look at what they went through when they moved to this country. It was a real struggle. It was a struggle for survival. They formed this community. They formed this community with one purpose, that we will all survive, that we will all be where we need to be, and this community will provide for all. I think that message needs to be reignited again, because we still need that support from our community. Ajay, one thing that I would like to tell all of you is, today there will be elections here. There will be a new team standing in front of you. You have to give that new team a chance. You have to give them that chance, like you gave us in 2010. And if we haven't disappointed you, then you know what? Trust this team, they won't disappoint you. One other thing is, as leaders, all of us who are leaving the Northwest Area Committee today, we pledge our support to whoever comes in. We will support you in every aspect, but we want you to lead, because change brings new ideas to the table. Those new ideas will turn into something new and a new reconnection with this community that it really needs. So, today, over here, help make that change. And also, on the 24th of April, when you all go to Oshal Center, help make that change. Change is good for the community.
Change, don't be afraid of change. Change will not be bad. Change will drive this community forward. There's a saying, that, it took a while for me to understand it, but I've understood it now. Don't go looking for your leaders in your past. Look for your leader in the future. Because that is what momentum is. This is not momentum. When you go back, you're going back. If you want a leader, you go forward. And that is very important. All of you need to bear that in mind. That brings change. Now the hard part, and this is where the throat is actually going to choke. I've tried this at home. 6 years have been an experience. It's been something that I had never planned, ever. Before 2010, I was just a mere volunteer. 2005, I was only a crowd control volunteer for this community. I joined the website committee with Chetan and Kilit and Ramesh. And, somehow we got a bond of how we work. And we had other friends. And I think today, when I look back, I don't think there is ever a moment to regret in the last 6 years. We've made mistakes, yes, but you learn from your mistakes. And we've all learned from our mistakes. Wherever we've made them, we've learned from them. But everything you see around you for Northwest area is not individual effort. You can never do anything with an I. You can do everything with a V. And it is very important that everyone here realizes that you and them are one team. You're not two separate parts. They all have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 hands, 2 legs. Probably 2 heads somewhere, but yeah. But so do many of you. Right? They're not different from you. But what they can do, you can do. Very fair, Friday night youth club, this parent walks up to me and goes, "Oh, tamai jakai me yamara thaya." And I can do that time. And he was struggling to answer that. It is very difficult. Today, all you need is love for this community. All you need to tell yourself is you need this community more than it needs you. And that is all it will take for you to actually connect with this community. What is our single biggest achievement of the last 6 years? I would say our ability to actually bring change and make this strong and united. Because if we weren't united, we would have not a center. If we weren't united, half the events that we run would have come half empty. So it is our unity that we have achieved in this community. And I think when you look at everything that happens in the Northwest area, there are people doing things. Our volunteers are recognized almost everywhere. Ekta Center epitomizes the best in volunteers. It's not just Ekta Center, I'll tell you, it's our schools, our youth club. All of them epitomize the best you get in volunteers. You want to give something back to the community. So, drive that spirit, create love for this community, and you will be able to bring that community spirit for you to step up here. So, last few minutes of me being Northwest Area Chair, I think a few thank yous need to be said. My first thank you is to my family. My family at home, who I leave behind every time. Quickly rush to dinner and out of the door before they can actually say kajas. So I think the last 6 years have been a challenge, but we've overcome it, and we've overcome it because I've had that support at home. So, Mom, thank you very much, Rajni and Sanya. I'm going to be old now, so there won't be meeting rooms. You'll probably be fed up with me. You'll probably find a way to get me out of the
It's alright, Nirmal. April election is coming, so you can join them.
I think I need a break. Bigger changes. One person has made a big change in my perception and helped me grow into the role that I have right now. I have to say, is Ruben. He, at every point, has stood up. Whenever I've needed to ask him something, he's always been available. And he's the kind of person, Ajay, with the level of martial experience he has, it's phenomenal. But he's also able to understand it from your perspective. And that makes a big change when someone can understand you. I think with it, thank you very much for doing that. The other two people I would really like to thank right now, whenever I've been on Fridays, this is executive committee meetings are on a Friday evening, and you go there, you discuss a lot of stuff, but the real meeting begins when you actually leave Oshal Centre and end up at Potter's Bar, not Potter's Bar, to South Limbs, where the real meeting begins, where you actually discuss the actual stuff and some decisions are taken there, off the cuff. But anyway, I have to thank Rexby. I think the last, at least I've worked with Rexby for 4 years, and those 4 years, I didn't know him that well before, but I think we share the same background in terms of we both lost our father when we were young, and I think the sense of shelter that you get when someone else who's experienced that tells you something makes a big difference. So Rexby, I think every time that I picked up the phone to you, I've had words of encouragement and actually just that part, you know what, do it, don't worry about the consequences, do it, we'll see what happens. And that makes a difference. And the other person there was Tushar Rai, who again, same way when he was president and I needed that support because I literally just learned to crawl in Ocean Association of the UK as chair. I think that support has been immense. There are 3 other people, very important people. Milesh, who I've known since about there. Chetland and Dipet, who've literally been there. I think as a collective, whenever you see the 4 of us, either something is going down or something is going to yeah. But guys, you know, I think if you look at it, these 6 years have been an experience that I think will stay with us for pretty much till we go to the grave. And that says a lot about it. I'd like to thank Kilit, who, as always, either carries me or I carry him, as you've seen in the photos. Kilit and Milan, who've also been with this committee since 2010. And I think what they've driven is that collective that we have, which actually meant, you know, when you have something thrown at you, you're not scared because you have the support of all of these people sitting with you. And this whole committee, you look at everyone over here, wherever you go, the whole committee is there to support you in every way. Ajay, just simple things this morning, just getting things organized. you just have to blink an eye and everyone has done the work and everything is done. And that is immense power in a team. And you can actually overcome a lot of stuff. And so I think most of all I will miss that over the next few weeks, months, years. But I'd like to thank everyone of you, because without your support, none of this could have been done. Volunteers, members, I think what I have achieved, I have not achieved. We have achieved. I'd like to part with that. Thank you very much.